I'm down in Tango storage room looking for a few things for today's
dungeon repairs.
Sorry about that. Today I want to restore the broken snow and the blocks from last time, get the dungeon's heartbeat restarted, and later show something that I think's going to look pretty cool. So as I look around in Java version from before, most of the missing blocks that we could see in the dungeon that looked out to the redstone spaghetti of decked out, they were mushroom blocks, and you can see here around the edge there's some mushroom blocks missing from the storage room as well. This seems to be a world conversion issue. We took the Bedrock version from the Hermitcraft server as converted by the Hermitcraft team, so we'll work with what we've got. By the River of Souls area, the custom trees, they were also missing some mushroom stems, as well as the snow layers broken by the Ravagers. So we need to get a few more snow layers, and I think over here we have some mushroom that we can take. And speaking of the River of Souls, that's our first stop, so let's go. So you may have noticed that the snow started to melt, and sure enough, after a while it had all melted away. I checked the light levels and it wasn't bright enough to melt it, so the last thing to check was the biome. Decked Out 2 is in a lush caves biome, and it turns out that the behaviour is slightly different in Bedrock. Snow melts. So that's something to watch out for if you want to build your own game, that you've got to find the right biome first. After a couple of days of research, I decided that the best way to tackle this would be to use a tool called Amulet to change the biome of level 1. I set the bounds of the level 1 to a cold taiga, and I started again. And as you can hopefully see, the snow has stayed as snow. I've done another pass, and as I've gone round, I've tried to make the snow layers exactly the same as Decked Out. It's pretty close. It probably won't be perfect. But for now, we have a dungeon that has snow in and looks pretty good. So that's great. So let's get on to the next thing. So one thing we noticed from our test run was that the heartbeat and other sounds were, well, broken. In Hermitcraft, they use a Java mod, which allows them to create unlimited custom and unique music discs. That's pretty cool. So let's get into the spaghetti. As far as I can tell, in Bedrock, we can only replace the audio on an original music disc, not create additional new music discs. We can have more custom sounds, but just not on music discs. The reason this is a challenge here is, as of this version, there's 15 music discs, and I counted 165 sounds for Decked Out 2. So even when we've replaced the audio, the music disc remembers its duration as well, so we have to create a new item that uses the audio but has a different duration that's the same as our sound. So it's just a whole thing. So our first job really is to take this older heartbeat sensor, heartbeat player, and reconnect it up to the Clank system, and just to test out our new Bedrock audio. So let's get started on that. So this black line of wool here with these observers and powered rail, this is the heartbeat line, and this comes up to here. You can see it's broken going up to this older heartbeat player. The reason this is there's one right at the bottom of Decked Out that replaces all of this, but it uses a single ticking system, so it doesn't work on Bedrock. So something we'll have a look at to get this done more centrally later. So this line will flash every time there's a heartbeat, but to test this we really need to turn on the game, which we can do here. And then we should start to see some flashes come through. I think we might need another observer just because of the length. Aha, that's flashing. Cool. The other thing is the mod that they use in Java doesn't work here. So these music discs, they're back to the original. So we're just going to take those out. And then we have these custom ones here that replaces disc 13 that plays the heartbeat. So I'll put those in there. And we'll take these three out. We'll put these in here so that we've got those all lined up and ready to go. And I think, yeah, we need to find where this stops flashing and put an observer in there. Let's wait for it to flash one more time. There. Excellent. And do I have... Yes, I brought some with me. So we do this. The next time that goes... Haha, it played the noise. Haha, that's really cool. So now this line will play that, and we should be able to hear it in quite a few places in the dungeon because we've put the sound, the volume, and the sphere that it plays in to about 180 blocks. So if we go and find our way into the dungeon, which I'll do in a second, we should be able to hear this. So let's go do that. Okay, this is one of the ways to drop in on level 1. I've got quite a few things with me, so I'll just hold that. And we'll just run around. We see if we can hear the heartbeat around the dungeon as we move around. And see if we can increase it with some Clank. So far, so good. We still have these up from fixing earlier, and the system's on, so we're dropping keys and things. Need to not waste too many of these. These blocks were from we did some of the work earlier, just to keep away from those ravagers. So let's go back around this way. There we go. So far I can hear it everywhere. We can hear it with the dinging. Obviously we don't have the droning on yet. Those background drones. Okay, coming down into here. Can still hear it, okay. We've still got the bad clicking. So let's go and see if we can increase the rate of the heartbeat slightly because our Clank detectors aren't working. Okay, so we're back at the heartbeat jukeboxes. We just need to find a red line, which is the add Clank line. I'm going to use this one here. We should be able to just put a lever on it and just... This should increase. This is telling the system there's more Clank, and that should increase the heartbeat when it gets round. So we should see this flash a bit faster. Let's add a bit more in. That does sound a bit faster. Okay, that's sounding much faster. That's sounding really good. Oh, I think that's max clank. I can hear a bunch of pistons firing, which should be... Oh, that guy over there. Oh, that guy's escaped. He should be in a minecart somewhere above. That's a problem for another time. But no, this is working brilliantly. Fantastic. Now for the bit that I think's pretty cool and exciting. So let's do a reveal of that. Over here, we've got one of the normal droppers, and you can see as we look in here, we've got some decked out crowns, some decked out coins, and then in this side, yeah, we've got some embers as well. These are pretty generic, as you can see. They're just no textures. In Hermitcraft, they use a mod pack to apply custom textures to these nuggets. I can't really do that. I haven't found a way to do that. So what I've done is I've created a crafting recipe. So we get 1-on-1. So I think that's a fair trade. To give us a coin, to give us a crown, and I think frost embers there. Yeah, frost embers there. So you can see that we now have real textured coins, crowns, and embers from the decked out game. So this is great because now we have real, authentic, decked out items decked out in Bedrock, which I think is the first time anyone's managed to do this. And this is going to be, oh, hello. This is going to be great because this is going to make the game start to feel real and alive and on parity with Java. And obviously these items were created by Tango and his team for decked out, and I'll obviously be putting credit in the comments for these items, but I think this is fair use as these are in decked out. So that's cool, but that's not all. So if you made it to the end of the video, thanks very much. It's really appreciated. I'm pretty new to this, so it's a bit of an experiment, and I'm trying my best. As I go into the dungeon, I've just got one last thing to show you, and I hope you like it. And that is the epic decked out 2 dungeon doors. Now, it's really cool to have this in Bedrock in the game. Obviously, these textures were created for decked out 2 by Tango and his team. So, in the Java version, so we brought them over. So that's really cool to have this in here, and we'll start building more of these kind of things and bringing them over into Bedrock. But for now, that's it. I've got to go and fill a bajillion hoppers with coins, crowns, and embers, and all sorts of keys. So that's it for today. See ya.